guys. Several years ago, my husband Mike and me and our two daughters were shopping at Home Depot for some stuff. We're always doing some kind of project. Then I spotted this pond, rigid, pond liner. It's called the Brighton Pond, and it's by a company called All Green. And I'm telling you this because I want to just put in a plug for them because it's been a really good deal for me. It's 90 gallons, and because of the ground that we have, which is very difficult to dig in, and we were doing this project by ourselves, so we didn't have, equipment for digging. It was just Mike's manpower. And so we thought, a small pond would suit us very well. It's something that we could handle. The project was something we could handle. And it was big enough to actually do something with and enjoy. 90 gallons is, not too bad. And it has a depth of 18 inches in the middle. And I actually have 2 potted water lilies in there. And so they seem to enjoy that depth of water. When we first started putting the pond in, people advised us not to buy koi because in our neighborhood we have quite a few predators that would come and eat them. And I actually have a neighbor who's lost koi, expensive koi, not just the lower level koi. He's got really expensive koi, and he's lost 3 of them already. So he has an electric fence around his. We don't really want to put up an electric fence. And so we've covered our pond with wire mesh, wood, and rocks. So that doesn't look very pretty, but when we want to enjoy the pond, we just remove that stuff, And then I can feed the fish through the wire mesh when I don't want to remove all the stuff. So this is what the pond looks like. And so you can see there's wire mesh and wood and rocks. And sometimes the raccoons will still get their hands in between the wire mesh because they have quite small hands. So sometimes they will get in there, and they really enjoy picking the water lily flowers. Even though they don't actually eat them, they just pick the flowers and leave them on the side. Oh, so annoying. And then there's a little stone patio that Mike made out of rocks, and some rocks for sitting on. So it's quite pleasant. He did a nice job. And the only reason we have such a small pond is because of our maple tree. Oh my, what a monster. A huge maple tree. And the maple tree roots are all over the yard. So it was quite hard digging even just for this small pond. So for many, many years, I just had the pond stocked with feeder goldfish, and they would multiply, After a while, they would get kind of inbred and they would turn out a little bit weird, stuff missing or malformed or something like that. So I would change them every so often. But the thing is, we found out soon enough all about the predators. So even though we have that wire mesh there, the raccoons, which we have many, many raccoons in this neighborhood, but their little hands are so small that they can actually get through the wire mesh. So we lost a few goldfish to the raccoons. And sometimes I would even find, a little head and a row of bones and a little tail at the side of the pond, just like in cartoons. It was so funny. Okay, it's not funny. It wasn't funny at all, man. It was funny, but not funny. Okay. I'm pretty sure I also lost some fish to herons because I would see herons around. So I'm pretty sure I lost some of my goldfish to herons. And in fact, actually last week, I saw a heron at dusk. He was on the neighbor's shed, on top of the shed, and he was looking at my pond, but at the moment there are no fish in the pond, so he seemed rather disappointed and then just flew off. After a while of keeping goldfish, and having them eaten, I thought maybe I would switch to rosy red minnows. So I did that, and for a couple of years I had rosy red minnows. But this spring, I went to my pond and there was not a single fish in the pond, not even one tiny rosy red minnow, not even a small. Everything was gone. And then I realized, hey, there's a lot of dragonflies around, like huge dragonflies. And you know how they got huge? Oh, that's just Mike. The reason they got huge is because they ate my rosy red minnows. Now, when you see a dragonfly, it's because the nymph or the larva or whatever you want to call it has been in a pond or, some kind of standing water. They live there for several months. They can live even 2 years waiting their chance to become an adult. And then the adult that flies around doesn't last very long, a few weeks to a few months. So it's mostly living its larval stage. It's not a dragonfly for very long. And they may look cute. They're very pretty, yes. I love dragonflies, but when they're eating my fish, they're not so nice, are they? So when dragonflies come around your pond, there's not that much you can do. Someone recommended to me that I should have more flow, more circulation in the pond, so it would deter the adults from laying eggs in the pond. So I might try that because, water lilies don't like a lot of circulation. So what am I to do? I don't know. Maybe a little bit of circulation, enough that I can deter the dragonflies, but not enough to affect the water lilies, something like that. What I usually use in the pond actually is just a sponge filter, and that does quite a good job because it's only 90 gallons after all, right? So the sponge filter will give fish enough oxygen, and it also keeps enough of the beneficial bacteria alive that my nitrates don't skyrocket. So it's simple. I want to keep things simple, so I just keep it simple by having a sponge filter. So between the raccoons and the herons and the dragonflies, it seems as if pond keeping really is verboten. That's a line from a movie. Which movie is that? Colditz? The Story of Colditz? I'm not sure what the title actually is. No, it's The Colditz Story, that's right. We love to quote the lines from that movie and others as well. Okay, so when you have a pond or you're thinking about having a pond, always remember that you're going to get predators. And so if you want to keep expensive fish, beware of that. Okay? All right. We're going to wrap it up here. Thanks for watching this one, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.